You know, trying to figure out higher education, it can feel like you're solving this massive, impossible puzzle, right? There are just so many pieces. Where do you even begin? What do you study? And of course, the big one, how do you actually make it all happen? It's a huge decision, not just for students, but for their entire families. So, okay, let's dive into this. And this is really the question at the heart of it all, isn't it? That dream of studying abroad, of getting an international degree. For so many of us, it just feels, well, completely out of reach. You think complicated, you think expensive. But what if it wasn't? What if there was a more direct path? So today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to break down the core message from one company that claims to have an answer, U-Turn Consultancy. We're going to look right at their source material to really understand what they're offering to Indian students. All right, so to really get what they're all about, you have to start with their mission. I mean, what is the fundamental promise they're making to people? And here we have it. This one sentence. This is everything. But what really jumps out at you are those two words right next to each other, premium and affordable. I mean, think about it for a second. When do you ever hear those two words in the same sentence, especially when you're talking about education? It kind of feels like a total contradiction, and that's what makes you stop and think. So the real question is, how on earth do they pull that off? What do those words actually mean to them? Okay, so let's dig into that. How can something be premium, top tier, and affordable at the exact same time? This is really the core of their entire pitch, so we need to get it. So here's how they do it. On the premium side, they're not just throwing the word around. For them, it means something very specific. Their connections with international universities. Then, on the affordable side, they give you a really clear yardstick. They're saying the fees will be in the same ballpark as what you'd pay for a top university right here in India. And that, well, that's the whole idea right there. It's the game changer. They're basically taking a global education and putting a local price tag on it. That's their whole model in a nutshell. Okay, so that's the what. That's their big promise. But what about the how? How does a student go from just thinking about all this to actually, well, getting on a plane? Let's take a look at the process they've mapped out. And they've really boiled it down to just 3 simple steps. First, you just reach out. Then you get guided through all of your options. And finally, they connect you. That's it. It's designed to feel super straightforward, to take away all that overwhelming complexity that usually makes people just give up before they even start. But here's a detail that I think is really, really important. Even if you don't go through the whole process with them, their absolute baseline promise is to give you the right information. The source makes it clear that, at a bare minimum, they'll arm you with the knowledge you need. And that kind of tells you something, right? It suggests their goal is empowerment, even if you decide to go it alone in the end. And all of this leads to the real end game here. What's the ultimate goal for the student in all this? What's the final outcome they're working towards? And when you get right down to it, it all boils down to this. The real product they're offering isn't an acceptance letter. Nope. It's something way more valuable than that. It's the power for you, the student, to make your own choice, and to make it freely, and to make it with confidence. It's about taking this huge, messy, stressful decision and turning it into something clear, something you feel totally in control of. So that's really the final question they put back on you. Imagine all the confusion, all the complexity was just gone, and you had all the right information right there in front of you. What would you do? What path would you choose? It's a powerful thought to end on.